man 100 times wiser than Zhuge Liang.
In the chaotic age of the spring and autumn period, when states rose and fell like waves on a restless sea, there lived a man whose greatness did not end in tragedy. History is filled with brilliant men who rose from nothing, men who defeated enemies stronger than themselves, men who changed the fate of nations. And yet, most of them did not die peacefully. Some were executed, some were betrayed, some were erased the moment their usefulness ended. Shanyang reshaped an entire state with law and discipline. His reforms made Qin strong enough to unify China. Yet when his patron died, the laws he created were used against him. He was torn apart by chariots, by the very system he built. Han Xin was a military genius without equal. He won battles no one else could win. He helped found an empire. And once peace arrived, his talent became a threat. He was executed in silence. Zhuge Liang served with absolute loyalty. He gave everything, mind, body, and life, to his cause. He died not by betrayal, but by exhaustion, burned out by duty he could never leave. Different men, different endings, but the same pattern. They knew how to rise. They knew how to fight. They knew how to win. None of them knew when to leave. This raises a question few people dare to ask. Why do intelligent, capable men so often die after they succeed? In ancient China, this pattern repeated endlessly, except for one man. His name was Fan Li. Most people remember heroes for how they fought. Fan Li is remembered for how he endured, how he won, and most importantly, how he withdrew. This is his story. 1. A world of blades and ambition. Fan Li was born into an age where strength ruled truth. An age where alliances were temporary, states plotted endlessly against one another, loyalty was tested daily, and power was never safe. Victory today meant execution tomorrow. Among these states was State of Yu, a small and vulnerable kingdom facing a powerful rival, State of Wu. Yu's king, Go Jian, was ambitious but inexperienced. Wu, under King Fuchai, was strong, disciplined, and ruthless. Fan Li entered Go Jian's service not as a loud reformer or flamboyant strategist, but as a quiet observer, a man who studied human nature more than battle formations. He understood something most generals ignored. Wars are decided not on the battlefield, but in the hearts of rulers. Fan Li saw it in small moments. A clenched jaw held too long, a breath taken too sharply, a pause before obedience. Every instinct urged him to speak, to encourage, to promise revenge, to whisper hope. He did none of it, because Fan Li understood something cruel and precise. Words would relieve pain, but they would also reveal intent. So he chose silence. Each night, Go Jian slept on rough firewood. Each morning, he tasted bitter bile to remind himself of humiliation. Fan Li never interrupted the ritual. He let the bitterness do its work, because this was not the time for courage. This was the time for containment. Fan Li endured humiliation without surrendering clarity. He let hatred cool into patience. He let rage sink into memory. Wu believed they were watching a defeated king. They did not realize they were watching two men learning how to survive victory long before it arrived. 3. The long return. After years of humiliation, Wu released Go Jian, believing him broken. They were wrong. Back in Yu, Fan Li became the invisible hand behind reconstruction. He advised Go Jian to lower taxes, restore agriculture, train soldiers quietly, appear weak, obedient, harmless. While Wu celebrated victory, Yu sharpened itself in silence. Fan Li also orchestrated a psychological strike, sending the beauty she sure to Wu's court, knowing indulgence weakens even the strongest kings. 4. The slow decay of Wu. Wu did not fall in battle. It fell in comfort. At first, victory intoxicated its king, Fuchai. He had defeated Yu. He had humiliated its ruler. The threat that once kept him awake at night now cleaned his stables. In his mind, the war was over. And that was the first mistake. Fuchai began to believe the danger had passed, not temporarily, but forever. He spoke less of defense. He spoke more of legacy. Palaces expanded. Feasts grew longer. Music replaced debate in the court. Ministers who once spoke bluntly now learned to flatter. Those who warned him were waved away. You? Fuchai laughed. They are broken. A beaten dog does not bite. What he did not see was that broken men remember more clearly than victorious ones. Corruption crept in quietly. Officials competed not in service, but in pleasing the king. Appointments were given for loyalty, not competence. Taxes rose to fund indulgence, not security. Wu's armies still looked strong, but discipline weakened. Soldiers trained less. Commanders argued more. Confidence replaced vigilance. Victory had made them careless. And then came indulgence. The court became a place of pleasure rather than judgment. The presence of Shishir deepened this illusion, not as a weapon of seduction alone, but as a symbol of excess. Time slowed inside Wu's palace. Days blurred together. When reports arrived from the borders, they felt distant. When advisors raised concerns, they sounded tiresome. Fuchai began to believe that his strength was natural, not earned, not maintained, but permanent. Warnings still came. They always do. But they arrived wrapped in caution, and caution sounded like doubt. Fuchai dismissed them one by one. Those who insisted were sidelined. Those who persisted were removed. The court grew quieter, not from harmony, but from fear. Wu was no longer governed by reality, but by reassurance. Meanwhile, far away in Yu, family watched and waited. He did not rush. He understood something Wu did not. A state does not collapse when it is weak. It collapses when it believes it is safe. Family let Wu decay at its own pace. He allowed arrogance to harden, allowed corruption to spread, allowed indulgence to dull instinct. By the time Wu sensed danger again, its reflexes were gone. When Yu Kingdom finally moved, Wu Kingdom was unprepared. Orders conflicted. Commanders hesitated. The court argued while borders burned. Wu did not lose because he was stronger. Wu lost because it had forgotten how to fear. And fear, when balanced, is what keeps a state alive. This was Fan Li's quiet victory. Not a sudden strike, but a patient understanding of human weakness. Wu fell not to force, but to its own belief that the struggle was over. Now the once enslaved king stood victorious. The world praised Gojian. Few noticed family. 5. Victory is the most dangerous moment. Here is where most stories end. But this is where Fan Li's greatness truly begins. He watched Gojian carefully. The same man who endured humiliation with iron will now rule without rivals. Fan Li saw the change instantly. A ruler who survives disgrace often becomes suspicious in triumph. Victory changed the air in Yu. At first, it was subtle. Celebrations filled the court. Rewards were given. Titles were granted. The war was over. But Fan Li did not celebrate. He watched. He noticed the executions first. Not enemies, but former allies. Ministers who had spoken too freely during the war. Generals whose victories drew too much attention. Their charges were small. Their punishments were final. Fan Li said nothing, but he remembered. Then he noticed the change in Gojian. The king's voice grew firmer. His questions sharper. His silences longer. Praise became measured. Trust became conditional. When Fan Li spoke, Gojian listened. But now he listened carefully, as if weighing not just the words, but the man behind them. Fan Li understood immediately. A ruler who survives humiliation never forgets how fragile power feels. Victory had not erased Gojian's fear. It had refined it. Rewards began to feel like tests. Those who accepted too eagerly were watched. Those who declined were questioned. Loyalty itself had become suspicious. Fan Li saw the pattern clearly. He had seen it in other states, in other courts, in other men who ruled too long. For the first time, Fan Li hesitated. Leaving now meant surrendering honor. It meant abandoning the story of loyalty. It meant walking away while others stayed. But staying meant something worse. It meant becoming indispensable. And in a ruler's mind, what is indispensable soon becomes dangerous. Family weighed it carefully, not with fear, but with clarity. He understood the truth most men refuse to face. A wise ruler rewards merit. A fearful ruler eliminates it. Family did not wait for proof. He did not wait for accusation. He chose timing over pride. Family wrote a letter. Calm, respectful, final. No bitterness, no defense, no demand, only understanding. When the bird is gone, the good bough is stored away. When the enemy is defeated, the strategist becomes excess. Then he left, quietly, without escort, without ceremony. He left power at its peak. Those who mocked his departure later died. Those who stayed were remembered briefly and erased. Family lived. This was not retreat. This was mastery. He did not leave because he was unneeded. He left because he was too valuable to remain. 6. Becoming Tao Zhuge Liang. After leaving the court of Yu, family vanished again. This time, he did not hide among scholars or hermits. He entered the marketplace. He took a new name, Tao Zhuge Liang, and lived as a merchant among ordinary people. He became a merchant. At first, no one noticed him. He dressed plainly. He spoke little. He watched everything. He observed harvest cycles. He listened to rumors. He counted boats arriving late and carts leaving early. Then one year, grain prices surged. Floods had damaged crops. Fear spread quickly. Merchants rushed to buy. Warehouses filled. Prices climbed higher each day. Everyone said the same thing. Hold, prices will rise further. But Tao Zhuge Liang began to sell. Quietly, steadily. People laughed. Why sell now, they asked. This is only the beginning. Some called him foolish. Others said age had dulled his judgment. He sold anyway. Weeks later, relief grain arrived from neighboring regions. Panic reversed. Prices collapsed. Warehouses overflowed. Merchants who had hoarded lost everything. Tao Zhuge Liang walked away with profit, not because he predicted the future, but because he understood crowd behavior. He had seen this before. In courts, in wars, in power. Greed always peaks just before reversal. He became wealthy, very wealthy, and then he gave much of it away. To relatives, to neighbors, to struggling traders. People were confused. Why give away what you worked so hard to earn? Tao Zhuge Liang answered calmly. Wealth that stays too long invites disaster. Wealth that cannot move becomes a prison. Years later, he lost his fortune. Some said bad luck. Others said generosity ruined him. He did not argue. He returned to trade. Again, he waited while others rushed. Again, he sold while others held. Again, he rebuilt his wealth. And again, he gave it away. This happened 3 times. Not legend, not exaggeration. 3 cycles of rise and loss. People finally asked the real question. Why do you keep letting it go? Tao Zhuge Liang answered with clarity earned from power and survival. Because I have seen what happens when people cannot let go. He had seen ministers executed after success. He had seen rulers grow suspicious of abundance. He had seen wealth turn into chains. For Tao Zhuge Liang, money was not security. Mobility was. He kept freedom of movement. 7. The man who walked away whole. Fan Li died peacefully, a rarity in his era. No execution, no exile, no betrayal. He left behind no empire, no dynasty, no monument. Instead, he left a model of a man who entered power without arrogance, endured suffering without despair, won without intoxication, left without regret. 8. The lesson Fan Li leaves us. Fan Li died peacefully. No execution, no exile, no betrayal. In an age where brilliance often led to destruction, he escaped history's cruelty. He left behind no empire. Fan Li teaches a truth most people refuse to face. The hardest skill in life is not how to rise. It is knowing when enough is enough. Those who cling to success are destroyed by it. Those who cling to wealth are imprisoned by it. Those who cling to identity lose freedom. Family chose movement over attachment. And because of that, history could not consume him. In a world obsessed with more, family mastered enough. He reminds us, win, but do not linger. Gain, but do not cling. Serve, but do not disappear into service. Because the greatest skill in life is not knowing how to advance. It is knowing when enough is enough. Walk your path fully, and when the time comes, remember to leave while the gate is still open.
Let's journey together for more Daoism stories. Question and suggestion are encouraged.